It was my son's birthday. Okay, so I know some of you might say, Scotty, I thought you were against this movie. I thought you didn't want anything to do with it. Didn't want to go see it. What's going on? Well, fate had other plans, I guess. We were supposed originally we were going up state a little bit, another town. We were gonna do some go karts, mini golf, and then we were gonna go see Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones, at 4 o'clock. However, that did not happen because the go kart and mini golfs were closed, so we had to search other avenues. They didn't have an earlier showing of Indiana Jones for some reason, anywhere. So instead, we went to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, a movie that I was very vocal against because I didn't... Okay, let me explain myself as to why I didn't want anything to do with this movie, okay? So, a couple of years ago now, I think, they announced that Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg were going to be working on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. A movie that I swear they said was going to be live action. And so, or maybe I just assumed it, I don't know, but I swear they said it was going to be a live action one. And then the trailer came out. And I saw this and I went, this is this is Into the Spider-Verse crap. This is them capitalizing on that. And no, this doesn't look right. And then upon that, and what is the obsession with making April O'Neil African American? I don't get it. There are people that will go point out, well, she was in the comics, she was African American. Yeah, but it's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to make money off African Americans. African Americans see an African American April O'Neil and say, hey, she represents us. Let's take our kids to see that movie. That's why they do it. However, that's not my April. And I'm not saying hashtag not my April like I'm racist. No. I grew up with the white, redhead April O'Neil. I grew up with that kind of April O'Neil. And without going into spoilers, there is no reason for her to be African American in this film. It's not a story plot point. There's nothing that goes with it being that way. Because you think, oh, they did that, and that's going to be the source. She's in high school, right? She's in school, she's in high school, and she's picked on. But it's not because of that. It's because she puked on the school newscast or whatever. And, you know, obviously they're not going to go the racism route. But if they're not going to do anything, like, there's not even like, I'm going to be a newscaster for the black generation, and I'm gonna do it to prove that a black woman can be. No, there's none of that. It's just she wants to be a reporter. That's it. So I don't get the point of making her African American if you're not gonna at least try to capitalize it or put that into the story. There's no reason for it. And another thing, there's two other things that were probably more so why I didn't care for the animation. They were trying to go into the Spider-Verse route, and watching it, I'm sorry, it's just, I didn't care for it. And then there was the idea of the villains. It's called Mutant Mayhem, and the villain is not really a well-known teenage, Ninja Turtle villain. You have Cynthia Utram, who is the head of TCRI, who is like the overarching villain. She's basically like the Amanda Waller of this universe that they're doing. Yeah, it was announced that they're going to make a 2-season TV series on Paramount Plus and another film coming out. So, yeah, and that caused problems too between me and someone else in the Ninja Turtle group I'm in, because I said no thank you to that, and they asked why. I gave my clear, concise opinion, and they shot all over me, calling me, saying that I wasn't a true Ninja Turtles fan, I didn't like every single thing that Ninja Turtles put out. You're not a fan. How many people shit all over Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? How many? Are they not true Turtle fans? There are people that did not like that. And there are people that aren't going to like this. this is for kids. Although I was surprised at how much swearing was in this PG film. It's like we went back to the 80s. This felt like an 80s PG film with all the swearing. I think that there's hell a few times, and yeah. All that said, I liked the movie. Okay? I liked the movie. There were some things I didn't like. Like I already pointed out, the animation, right? The fact that they're teenagers, they focused on the fact that they are teenagers. Like, you have, like, actual teenagers voicing the Ninja Turtles, and some of them, like, if you've seen the one who voices Donnie, he hasn't hit puberty yet, so he has, like, a higher pitched voice. So they feel like real teenagers. I like that. And April is fine for what she is. But again, if you're going to do that, make her African American, do some kind of story thing with that. Otherwise, there's no point to do that. Like, I know some people would roll their eyes and complain if they did do that, but to me, that seemed why they did that. But it feels like Seth Rogen or whoever was in charge of casting was like, we got to do that. You know, that was a big point in contention for Rise, too. That's what kind of pushed me away, because I'm like, that's not April. It can't be. And they did it again, and I'm like... And no, I'm not going to watch Rise just... Oh, if you like this one. And I like what they did with April, but again, there's no point to her being African American. But anyway, I like the Turtles. Surprisingly, the thing I really liked the most, in fact, I loved it, is Jackie Chan as Splinter. I thought he was great, you know? And I did like the fact that they learned ninjutsu from watching all the kung fu movies, and some of them were Jackie Chan films. I did like that. I was like, hey, it's like that Leonardo DiCaprio thing. You know, I like that. And I think I like where the movie's going to go. There was a tease in the mid-credit scene, which I'll get to once I get to the end. But, like, then I'm like, it made me go, because even though I kind of figured that's what they were going to do, I kind of liked it. But, yeah, the plot here is that Baxter Stockman is creating these mutants. He has a whole bunch of mutants. TCRI comes in, and they attack him. He dies, but his fly escapes, and so do most of his other experiments. And then the container ooze falls down the sewer, which creates the Turtles and Splinter. And then Splinter narrates his story. He says, I'll tell you the long version to the Turtles. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, he's telling us what happened. But it's something they've already heard a million times, so I don't know why he keeps telling it. But, you know, he says that, what was it? He and the Turtles, he was a regular rat, but he didn't have any friends that were rats. They hated him, and then he was living in the sewers. He found the Turtles who were crawling in the ooze. He touched the ooze, and he mutated, and they mutated. And so then he raised them as their own. I think this is the first time in Ninja Turtles history that they call Splinter Dad. And so the Turtles, they want more. They want to be accepted, all that stuff. The end of the movie is kind of iffy at what they do, but yeah, they want to be accepted, and they meet April. And April is an aspiring teenage reporter. She wants, to be a reporter. But, like I said, she tried to go on camera, and she puked everywhere. And, of course, they show it. Let's see, it was remixed. I don't know. I will say some of the humor in this, most of the music was okay, but some of the humor in this, I was like, okay, you're going too far. There's, some Seth Rogen jokes, they can go a little bit too far, but, it was fine. Seth Rogen himself voices Bebop. John Cena is Rocksteady, and my son didn't know that, and they kind of modulate his voice so you can't tell. Then at the end, when it pops up, he's like, huh? Yeah, he was Rocksteady. What? Yeah. Couldn't tell. I knew because I had looked at the cast list before, and Leatherhead was a woman. It was fine. Didn't add anything, but it was fine. But yeah, there was... What are all the characters we get? We get Bebop, Rocksteady, Leatherhead, Mondo Gecko, Napoleon Bonafrog, I think it is, or Genghis Frog, and then somebody I haven't heard before, there's like a bat, there's a fly, not a fly, but like another bug thing, I don't know, and Superfly, which normally would be, I don't know why it couldn't have been Baxter Stockman mutated into a fly. I thought that was going to be a twist. But no, it's just the fly. Baxter Stockman is really nothing in this. And he really should have been more. Like him mutating into the fly. Whatever. So, and they put a heavy emphasis on Splinter does not want them to go up there whatsoever. Because once they got older, they wanted to go up and they were ridiculed for that. So they ran back to the sewers and never came back out again. And yes, it's another one people are going to say, oh, they're doing prejudice stuff. But if it's done right, it can work. Like the zombies movies, that works. Here, it worked. It worked. And it's not anything new for the Ninja Turtles. It's been done before. The 87 series had that aspect of all the mutant turtles are not accepted, that sort of thing. It's something the Michael Bay movies tried to do, but, because it didn't make enough money, we didn't get a third one. They should have given us one anyway. And they should have kept Eric Sachs as the Shredder. I'm just saying it would have... Screw what the fans say about that one. Because... Anyway. So, eventually it comes down to the Turtles go undercover to try to get this last piece of the mechanism. So, the plan of... So first of all, the Turtles end up getting kidnapped by TCRI. And TCRI, Cynthia Utrom, is milking them, they actually say that, for the mutagen come out so they can use it in experiments. And I went, wait a minute. Draining the mutagen out? At least she didn't say she wasn't going to be rich, like stupid rich. And it's not to make some gas, they're going to make more mutants using the mutagen in their system. Okay. That's very similar to Eric Sachs' plan in the first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie. I'm just saying. But Cynthia Utrom is really just like a side antagonist, where it's actually Superfly that's the main villain. And he's fine when he's Superfly, but then they go one more thing where they're using mutagen, I guess, in this thing to create more, and they turn everyone into mutants. So it's like Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, but there's no thing in the sky here. He's just, trying to create that and make more mutants. But the Turtles convinced all of the other mutants, yes, all of the other mutants, including Bebop and Rocksteady, which I have an issue with. Bebop and Rocksteady are supposed to be bad guys, but they convince all the other mutants to turn against Superfly and help save New York. They knock him into the river, which causes him to combine with a whole bunch of sea animals, and then he's thrown into a zoo where he combines with a bunch of other animals, including like a giraffe right here. I don't know. He's the giant whale fly thing, and it looks alright, but is it needed? Couldn't it just be a giant fly? They compared it to Godzilla. They called him a kaiju, of course. But, yeah. And then they do the thing where the Turtles are trying to fight him, but then on the news, they're saying the Turtles are leading the mutants into attacking the city, but April has to go into Channel 6, wink, and tell the true story. And then they start believing. Then the citizens of New York City help the Turtles. Start throwing stuff at them, and I'm sitting there going, you mess with the Turtles, you mess with New York. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, like Spider-Man. But yeah, and eventually the Turtles are able to take down, they have to get this anti-ooze stuff and throw it in the blowhole. I'm serious, it's just a blowhole. And it demutanizes him, right? So the Turtles and the other mutants are accepted, they're still going to live in the sewer. And then they go one step further with this, and the Turtles are going to school. What? Is this become Alvin and the Chipmunks now? And I guarantee you that TV series they're going to do is about the Turtles going to school. That's why they did it. I bet you that was a Nickelodeon mandate. That, hey, we want to milk this thing for all it's worth. Milk. And we want to do a TV series, have it end with them going to school, so we can use that as our TV series. I bet anything. That was a Nickelodeon mandate. It was a studio mandate. Whatever. Paramount, Nickelodeon, whatever mandate. I bet you that's what it is. That's what it was. And then we have a post-credit scene with Cynthia Utrom saying that she still wants to get the Turtles and to send in the Shredder. And you see a silhouette standing somewhere, like in the middle of the ocean. Maybe he's on a boat on the way there, heading to New York. So, you know. And here's the thing. I don't want to see the Shredder until the second film. Because if those who don't have Paramount Plus, like my son doesn't have access, I guess I could show it on my phone, I guess. But, and then they go into the second film and it already had fought the Shredder and everything, it's going to be confusing. But I suppose I had to show it to him on my phone. But yeah, this was unexpectedly good. However, I'm still going to give it a middle of the road because it's not what I would go to watch. I'm struggling to think which animated Turtles movie is better. This or TMNT. I'm talking theatrical. Batman vs. TMNT was pretty good. But I'm talking about the ones that were released theatrically, TMNT or this. I'm struggling to think which one was good. I kind of like some of the things in TMNT better, even though it was very similar, with just fighting various creatures. At least they did hint at the Shredder in that too, but, you know, at least this was in its own universe and you weren't really sure where that universe, that one was in, but, you know, it's fine. This was fine for what it was. I don't know, but, like I said, I give it a middle of the road. So, what are your thoughts on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem? Let me know in the comments. Let me sure like, share, and subscribe. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this, because by the time you get this, I might have the SummerSlam one up, because I'm probably going to talk about SummerSlam. There's the last stuff to talk about. I haven't watched it yet, as of this recording. By the time this is up, I probably will have. But I can't upload while I'm watching something, because, you know, although, with the new cable thing, when they updated my cable and everything, it might be stronger. I don't want to tempt it. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.